Hello everyone, I'm Niharika Tiwari from SocialBits, and today I'm with the founder and CEO of the Meta Labs, Mr. Rishi Goyal. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Niharika. It's an absolute pleasure.
So could you tell us a little about yourself, Rishi?
So, Niharika, I've been an investment banker all my career for the last 7 odd years, and I've always built my life focusing on unlocking great, tremendous amounts of value wherever it's available. Very recently, I've just ventured into the space of NFT through my new startup that is called the Meta Labs, and we are deeply working with artists, creators in the digital space to help them unlock value for themselves as well.
Okay, that's great. So, but why did you change? Why did you switch from being an investment banker to venturing into something like the world of NFT?
So, very recently, about 9 to 10 months back, I just received a very heartening report on my desk stating that NFTs are the next big boom that has been happening in the crypto space, and they were compounding at astonishing numbers. The industry just went from being about $17 million as an industry to about $4 billion within a space of 3 to 6 months. And that is something that really caught my eye, and that is when I understood that the kind of value that is available for unlocking in the space is absolutely wonderful, and that is when I decided to take the plunge and completely got myself into a startup tech company, and that is now called the Meta Labs.
Okay. So, how are you going about with it? Like, what are you doing exactly through the Meta Labs?
So we are completely focused on unlocking value with respect to creators in the digital space, artists who've not been really respected, the kind of respect Indian artists should have been garnering internationally that has been absent for over a decade now. And through this venture, we hope to be a catalyst to really take this movement forward, and that is the entire reason why we've named our company the Meta Labs, because that is how we are looking to really unlock it. It's sort of a movement, not just a company. Through this renaissance, we are looking to absolutely take Indian art, Indian digital art, Indian musicians global and get them the kind of value that they truly deserve.
That's great. So up until now, how has your journey been?
So it's been absolutely wonderful. So we've already done about 13 odd collections. We've created NFT assets worth about $4.5 million, and we are on path of creating another $6 to $7 million worth of NFT assets in the next couple of months. Because again, this is a green space, so we are expecting rapid, fast movements happening in this space with respect to innovation and tech. So the journey has always been very fast, and when you are a startup company specifically into tech, speed is the name of the game.
Okay, that's true. So do you have any competitors? Is there somewhere like Meta Labs?
So there are a lot of competitors that exist not only in India but globally as well. But when we say the Meta Labs, there is only one thing that enters the brains of the people into this NFT game. That this is the only company that will give you end-to-end solutions, that will hear you out, that will create graphics for you, that will create regenerative codes for you, smart contracts for you, for your minting, for your listing, understand your PR mechanisms, understand your roadmap, and really incubate and collection for you. So when people say the Meta Labs, they understand that you can just come to us with an idea, a simple idea, and we'll create the entire NFT for you. And when I say an NFT, it means an entire NFT collection.
So basically anyone can create an NFT.
Absolutely.
The Meta Labs, correct?
Absolutely. Anyone having a basic idea, we'll create the world for them.
That's great. So what are your plans for the future then?
So plans are pretty simple. Our Prime Minister says, make in India, make for the world. And unfortunately, 20 years back, India really missed an opportunity creating the kind of software companies that we should have created. I agree that we've created $150 billion of companies. A couple of companies, Indian software companies, are worth about $150 billion. But the kind of opportunity that exists right now with for the fellow entrepreneurs, I am really keen on unlocking trillion-dollar companies from India itself. Done are the days of Google, Instagram, Microsoft being born out of US. It's high time Indian techies create the kind of unlocking that we've always envisioned to. And with the Prime Minister's vision, I'm very certain it will happen. So expect at least 3 to 4 companies worth $1 trillion in the space in the next 5 to 6 years.
So Rishi, as the CEO of a company that is into NFTs, your takes on the NFT collections that are going around and why are they going at such high values?
I'm so glad you asked this, Niharika. So, my primary understanding of this entire thing is the collections that have been happening are really heartening to see, specifically coming from female based artists. Artists who have had to work day in, day out, multiple jobs to make ends meet. And suddenly, because they have a basic understanding of how digital art is created, and they are being backed by females across the world who are sitting on a certain amount of capital, the likes of Paris Hiltons of the world, the Serena Williams of the world. And because of these kind of backing, you see a lot of feminism in the space of NFT. And feminism is truly equality in its own sense. When you see a crypto chicks, when you see a world of women, it basically ensures that there's fluidity in the space. And when we say fluidity, it does not need to be assigned to any identity. Unfortunately, we live in a world where everything is an identity. You happen to be a girl, I happen to be a guy, and that is an identity assigned to us at birth. And just in case we so happen to be fluid of our own genders or of our own thought processes, how do we show it to the world? And that is why the kind of digital space that has been created in the Web 3.0 world, in which you can go completely anonymous, and you can be absolutely fluid with respect to your thought processes, with respect to your identities, that really helps you in a very which helps you play in a very submersive world. Unlike what has been happening up until now, where your data has been taken for a toss, your privacy is not being guaranteed. This is a play which is going to take the future along with it. Decentralization is the name, and you can absolutely ensure that all your privacy is maintained. Your data is yours at the end of the day. The content you create is yours at the end of the day. With respect to your second question, the kind of value, again, as I told you earlier, that as with respect to thought processes, with respect to fluidity, with respect to data, with respect to privacy, when you attach all of these things, you don't really need an utility to go around with it. And that is another major reasons why these kind of NFT collections are garnering the kind of value that they are. And I wouldn't be surprised if you could see another $1 billion collections coming out very soon. For that matter, we are also coming up with a collection called Crazy Astronaut Space Club. Astronauts and space as humans have always fantasized about. So we are coming out with a 5,000 piece Crazy Astronaut Space Club collection that is absolutely in-house. And we are assigning a billionaire component to it. So 500 of such will be completely billionaires astronaut space club, which will also give you a lot of party invites to yacht parties at Miami, Florida, Monaco during the F1 Grand Prix as well, and a lot more utilities which we really wish to create in the metaverse, in the virtual world itself, because after all, decentralization is the name.
So this will be my last question. What do you think of the future of NFTs?
Well, my understanding is the future is now. And with respect to NFTs, I agree a lot of people have been terming it as a tulip bubble or a big bubble. But when we understand NFTs from a practical standpoint of view, we'll understand that there are far more utilities attached to it. NFTs can be truly transformative when it comes to musical events, ticketing, and they can provide long-term solutions for musicians, artists across the globe. Music is an industry where I expect a lot of labels to go out of business in the next couple of years, if not earlier. Because musicians will not directly create their content online via NFTs, straight away eliminating the bigger brands and getting a source of revenue directly, which is going to be beneficial for them in the longer term. More so, it's also going to create a lot of royalties directly for all these artists. So NFTs are absolutely a wonderful play. Citibank and JP Morgan have very recently come out with reports stating that they are expecting this industry to be worth in the vicinity of $8 to $10 trillion. And as I told you, I expect Indian companies coming out of India, grassroots level, to be valued at least $1 trillion, and we can at least harbor 2 to 3 of them. So the value is available, the market is available, and since India is a consumption-based country, we can truly take it global. And again, as I say, we are a startup that is into tech, and after that we are in black, so why not?
It was really good talking to you, Rishi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure is all mine, Niharika. Thank you for having me.